First off, just let me, I meant to update you last week. Jackson Hoskins has torn his ACL and will be out, have surgery soon. And Will Trevilian has a condition, they're not real sure whether it's an autoimmune disease or what, but he had a tracheotomy on Sunday or Friday, and his air passageway was about half closed, and he wasn't breathing well, and so he will miss the rest of the season too, and probably be out for about 6 months with this condition. So both centers, so that kind of works unusual for us. In regard to New Mexico State, you know, we had 2 opportunities inside the 10-yard line as an offense and didn't get any points. 1 turnover, and then we ended up with a missed field goal. The penalty hurt us in that situation. I didn't see the replay on Brandon's catch, but evidently he didn't quite come up with it. And then on defense, you know, I thought we did some better things, but we did not get stops on 3rd and long, 3rd and 6 or more. We did not get stops. I think they converted 6 of them, and 2 or 3 of them were of the long variety, and that really hurt. Our guys are frustrated, disgusted, disappointed, angry, mad, and want to do better, and those are all appropriate feelings for a team that's struggled like they have, and that's okay. Anybody that makes a commitment to do well, we all have those kind of feelings, and we understand that. Georgia State, I think, is really an improved team. I said at the beginning of the year the bottom of the league was better, and I saw a stat today that said they had the most improved rushing defense in the nation this year. Pretty impressive. You know, they were 23-21 Saturday with Lafayette. We have a lot of respect for that score, certainly. They had a chance to win the game. Their quarterback, Arbuckle, is playing really well. He may be the all-conference quarterback, though I think the kid from Arkansas State's playing really well too. But last year I thought he at times would force some balls into coverage. He didn't do that this year. He's pretty accurate, pretty spot on, got a great touch, I think, on the football. So they're not running the ball for a lot of yardage, though I was reading today that they are going to get maybe 1 or 2 of their tailbacks back that have been hurt. We're the lucky one in the cycle. So maybe that'll help that for them, but they are throwing the ball really well, and this will be a good challenge for us. You know, they moved the ball well on us last year, and they've moved it fairly well on everybody. So this will be another one that we'll have to play well in and make the most of every opportunity. And our line for success or failure is very small, and when we miss out on a couple, 3 opportunities like we did Saturday, it makes it very difficult for us to win. So if you're all good, I'll see you next week.
Coach, back-to-back home games, what does that do for your team? Does it help them kind of stay close to home, stay more consistent? How much better will it make this team for you at home like this?
Well, it's always better to play at home. You know, I think your fans help you some, obviously, but just the band, the momentum, all the pageantry of playing at home, I think all adds a little bit to you. But you still got to play well. You still got to do the right things and help our fans make it as hostile for the opponents as we can.
You brought up the struggles on 3rd down defense. What would you attribute that to, and what have y'all been working on to improve that?
Well, we did a lot of evaluating on our calls the last 2 days, and you know, we had breakdowns in 1 or 2 different areas. We had a blitz. A guy should have peeled on the back. On the blitz, he didn't peel on the back, and so you saw the result of that one. And to defend the young man, this was really the first week that he had played that position. So, you know, you still got to know what you're supposed to do in that situation, but it didn't happen. So we got to execute better. We got to have better calls. We got to execute the calls better that we have made. I thought their receivers Saturday night played really well. I thought they made some catches that were really in traffic and contested, and they come up with them. So you have to give them some credit too. Come on, Joe, I know you're ready.
Coach, you said the team is feeling mad and frustrated, so how do you temper that from them trying to do too much so that the game starts going south going on in the future?
Well, it's a fine line. I think, staying focused on what you need to do, what you have to do, staying focused on your assignment, alignment, and execution, staying focused on defeating the person across from you. Emotions can hurt you in a game. And, sometimes it seems like no matter what we've done, it's turned out kind of against us once in a while. I mean, I think we've all gotten that feeling a little bit. And, you just got to stay in the moment. You got to keep playing, and you got to play the next play, and you got to keep believing and keep supporting each other. And that's really all you can do. And if you get too caught up in the adversity of things, and you lose your edge mentally and toughness and physically, and that's what we're dwelling on.
I remember last year you talking about a lot the ability to find a way to win that your guys had. Is that something that has been missing, or is there something you can attribute to that maybe hasn't been there this year, or something along those lines?
Well, it's missing. I mean, I think that's evident. And it's such a fine line for us. You look back at last year, 5 or 6 of our wins were last game, last drive, last play, one play. Mental toughness, gutted it out, fought it out, found a way, drives. This year, if the line can be any thinner, it is, it seems like. And we've had our struggles with different things. I don't like to bring up injuries from a standpoint of sounding like it's an excuse, because every team has them, so I don't mean it that way. But from those things to just inadvertent whistles to unique things that have happened, and then we got to, as a coach, I got to find ways to put them in better positions to do better. And ultimately, it's always on me to get those things done. And we keep searching and trying to find a way to do that.
Do you feel like you're getting closer to having a team that can come through with those winning moments, or you feel like things are getting further away from that right now?
I don't know. When you walk off the field Saturday, I don't think you feel close. I mean, we were close to winning the game, but you're pretty disgusted and disappointed with the way it played out. But I mean, it's obvious if we convert our drives inside the 10, if we get a third down stop or two, we win the football game. So we're not far away. I don't think we're going to win any games demonstratively right now. We're going to have to fight and claw to get a W and try to get a few things to go our way. I mean, gosh, we can't hardly get a turnover, it seems like, and we end up with. I thought CJ's that last interception at the end of the game kind of typified things. We hit him in the hands, goes off his chest, it pops right to them. I'm like, wow. Does that describe how it feels sometimes for us? Those are the frustrating things, I think, that we all share.
Hey, Coach, you mentioned the offensive or the injuries on the offensive line as such. Is there a way to get the offense back rolling was at the beginning of the season, or do you think you're just going to kind of mess up the bar like that?
Well, we should have scored 35 points Saturday night. Okay? We lost 14 points when we didn't score inside the 10-yard line. If we score 35, that's not a bad night. But we've got new, younger guys in there in some spots, and we haven't executed quite as well as we need to at times. And I'm not going to lower the bar. I know our players aren't going to, and we don't want you to, but sometimes we are what we are.
Coach, it's been 3 games since Chris Little's injury and Robert Lewis obviously taking a bigger burden. Do you feel like he's handling that well right now? Is it wearing on him a little bit now that it's been 3 games, 20-plus carries?
I have not seen it wearing on him. You know, he was a little more bruised up a little bit last week, I think earlier in the week, but that's football. So I don't think any of us have noticed that. Have you?
No.
Yeah, I haven't. I thought maybe you'd seen something or something up there doing the games. You all tell me how smart you are sometimes. So. You know. So, but I haven't seen a problem with Rob. I think he's handled it pretty good. I think Rob can be a 30, 35 carry a game guy if he needed to be.
Coach, I know you don't like to attribute any of this to injuries, but you have to have a dozen season-ending injuries now at this point.
9 ACLs, a PCL, a broken leg, torn Achilles, a tracheotomy. You want me to keep going?
Tracheotomy, that's a very...
I know. That's a new one for me.
I mean,
Yeah.
It has to take a toll on this team, and I know you don't want to blame it on that, but I mean, from where I'm sitting, I can't help but blame it on that. I mean, do you feel that has been a huge factor for your team's season so far?
Well, there's no doubt injuries are always a factor, but, you know, as I said, everybody's got them. I don't know if they've had the same number as we do. You know, I don't disclose anything but season-ending injuries to protect the players and to protect the game plan, and I try never to attribute things to that. But, you know, those things cause you to make adjustments, but we have to get the next man up and close ranks, march on, and try to find a way and play to our strengths and minimize our weaknesses as best we can, and put our guys in as good a position as we can. But the one devastating thing that we've had, or difficult, I don't want to say devastating, but we've had 3 out of 4 centers hurt. We had 4 D tackles hurt at one time. So it seems like we get a little clustered at a position with our injuries instead of spreading them out and things like that. And so that certainly makes a little bit of an impact on you when you get centralized to a certain position more so than anything else. You know, we miss Chris Nuttall. We miss his speed and explosiveness, but Rob Lowe's not chopped liver, so we can't complain about that one. But when you get hit hard at a position, it makes you have to really adjust some of your plans on how you do things.
How have struggles this season impacted recruiting?
You know, I think we hung in there pretty good. We got a commitment, I don't know if it was last week or late the week before. I think we're hanging in there pretty good with the guys that have committed. So, you know, there's going to be some ups and downs to it.
What game have you had the most visits at?
Excuse me?
What game have you had recruits visiting? Has there been any particular game or a bunch of recruits?
There's been 3 or 4, or 2 or 3 that we've had quite a few here. You know, we had quite a few Saturday. Probably getting as many juniors as we are seniors right now. Sometimes because a lot of the seniors have made commitments and the juniors are starting to look.
Your leadership council, how much does some of the getting the team to continue to fight through this thing, fight through this adversity, how much does the responsibility fall on them as well down the stretch here?
A lot. You know, I think you're only, as a team, a lot of times you're only as strong as your leaders help you be. And, you know, the seniors and the leadership council, they've got to step up. And this is a quiet bunch of leaders, so sometimes they all need to step out of their comfort zone a little bit.